So, little introduction. Rewind the story a bit, 20 years prior. Legende, the religious capital of the world of Erboden. Everyone goes about their daily lives. Everyone goes about their daily lives, unaware of the calamity that is about to transpire. The end of the world starts with neither fanfare nor the tolling of alarms. It starts with a scream. It starts with bloodshed. It starts with death. Poppy, Strider, don't know each other at the start of the collapse. In fact, you crash into each other's worlds quite suddenly and literally. The panic of the incursion of otherworldly things run into one another on the streets, not paying mind, focusing only on your survival. It is at one safe haven in the middle of the night that you introduce yourselves. It is hasty and without detail. You have to whisper, because all manner of things are listening, but they are hungry. You expect there to be a raising of alarms, a sudden intervention of the guards, or perhaps the gods themselves to smite down these beastly attackers, but nothing comes. No. In fact, your group of survivors whittles down eventually to just the two of you. Ought to be easy to flee, you think. Stick to the main roads. But you quickly realize that that is a death trap. For these creatures are not only fierce, but intelligent. As if they are being led. As if they are being commanded. You are surrounded by death, and nothing but. Eventually you stop seeing anyone other than the beasts. Survive only because of Strider's training, and Poppy's quick wit and light feet. Days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer, as if the sun itself is retreating out of fear. Eventually make it to a chapel that looks well fortified from the outside, but as you approach, you find that is yet another lie. Fortified perhaps, but something has crashed through the doors and left them shredded and tattered on the ground. You step inside and find yourselves to be the only ones here. Or rather, you are the only ones here that are alive. There are bodies strewn about the chamber, some whole, some torn, others feasted on. But you are alone. You have been fleeing for your lives for 10 days, and the only way to survive is to keep moving forward. What happens next is entirely up to you. Let me move you over. How do you proceed?
We should probably try to seek higher ground.
Yeah, sure, if you say so.
Is there any kind of like banister, or perhaps any upper level to this chapel?
No. This is a single floor. From your vantage point, you can see two doors at the end of the hallway. There might be more a little further on, but it doesn't seem to be any seats or anything. It's just flat stonework, intricate stonework.
Okay.
There are still lit candles. They're dwindling. It looks like they've been burning for a while. Most of them are at the end of their wicks or tilted over. It's actually kind of a miracle that this place hasn't caught fire yet.
It's probably safe to assume this is the foyer. We should probably proceed and try to find some way to fortify ourselves for the night.
How can we be sure that something else isn't here already?
Well, there's only one way to find out now, isn't there?
I suppose that's true. So DJ, you said it was just all dead bodies. Is there anything else that's kind of like sticking out as odd?
Make a perception check.
Natural 1.
Good.
Off to a good start.
These past few days have just been so immensely stressful and traumatic. You've reached a point where you're disassociating somewhat. So as you look around, it's kind of not like your eyes are focusing on anything. It's just like a camera strolling over a scene. It's just a quick, smooth movement. You don't really gain any detail other than what you've already seen immediately around you.
I think I'll also do a cursory look just to see if there's anything of value, or not value, anything worthwhile to grab.
Okay, if you're looking specifically for equipment, make an investigation check.
Okay. Oh my god. Also a natural 1.
You guys aren't off to a great start, unfortunately.
No, we're putting our dice in dice jail. They're probably upset with us for not using them for a while.
Yeah.
You move around and you start to fiddle with the dead bodies. Really, all you can really find is just gore and viscera. Just tattered clothing. It doesn't look like any of the villagers or clergies here had anything particularly valuable on them, or if they did, other passers through have already scavenged what there is to find.
Well then, shall we?
Lead the way.
Alright. So,
as you move further into the chamber,
5, 10.
it's one long hallway, and your vision should update as you move your tokens.
Okay.
You each have 60 feet of vision.
20, 25.
As you come to the end of the hallway, there is 3 doors present to you. The one from your character's perspective, the one on your right here, would be collapsed in with just rubble and all sorts of wood, and just, it looks like there's actually an arm sticking out from underneath the rubble. It looks like a collapsed hallway, so it's inaccessible. Okay. There are 2 boarded up doors, one here, one down here. That looks like you could proceed through if given a little bit of effort.
I say we should check the side path first before we proceed to the main hall.
Okay.
So,
it is boarded up from the inside.
Oh, from the
inside. So it would require a little bit of manual labor to pry them off.
I have a crowbar. No, I don't. No, that was part of the Dungeoneers pack. I have an Explorers pack. I'm so sorry.
So, if you want to try and take some time to pry them off, you absolutely can.
See, I don't think anything of value. Wait, does a crowbar come in thieves' tools?
A thief's tool is just a lock. Basically, just intricate lockpicks, like their tools.
Yes. You're correct. Okay. Yeah, poisoner's kit's not really going to help in this situation, so we should probably just try to muscle the door open.
Yeah.
Okay, you can each make individual strength checks, or one of you can make it at advantage.
My strength is Garbo. How's yours looking?
My strength is +0.
Samesies. Alright, maybe we should
just both do it?
Yeah, let's just both try. I got an 8.
I got a 6.
Okay.
We are tired.
Oh my god.
You are actually very exhausted. You're operating on very little sleep and also very little food. So, you do eventually start to get the boards off. But actually, like you both to also make a sleight of hand check to see how quiet you are while doing this.
20.
Natural 20, so 23.
Oh shit.
There we go.
She wins.
So while it does take you a while, I'm gonna say upwards of an hour, because it is a very tall door. The boards themselves are very thick, and they weren't methodical in how they placed them. It's all very haphazard, very quick. So if after about an hour you do get it free, the doors open inwards, not outwards, which is why it was boarded up from this side.
Okay. Well, let's hope there'll be something on the inside that we can possibly just settle down before continuing our exploration.
I suppose, as always, you want to scout ahead first.
Yes. Let me take a look.
All right.
So, do you open the door?
Yeah, I'm gonna creep the door open.
Okay. So you slowly creep it open, and so I'll give you a little bit of vision. Right. Give you that much. Yeah, you can tell from here that it actually opens out into another courtyard.
Okay. Huh. This might have been a waste of time.
How are we on water, DJ?
You know what? D4.
E4. 2.
2 days worth of water.
Okay. So this looks like it's another courtyard. We could try our luck out there, or we just proceed to main hall.
Wasn't there a door on the other side?
We can't go to the other side.
That's right.
The door on the across the hallway right here,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like it did lead further inside, but that hallway has collapsed.
That's right. Okay.
So our best bet is probably main door.
I mean, we could take a chance and refill our water a little bit. That looks like a well.
It is a well. It is in fact a well.
That might be a good idea. Alright, I'm gonna open the door just a little bit more.
Right, then I'm just going to go ahead and give you full vision.
Let's just say I go ahead and poke my head on through it.
So you'd have to adjust your token to see a little bit better.
Gotcha.
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
But it does open out into a very sizable courtyard. It does stretch off quite a bit. You can't see it because of how your vision on your tokens works. The courtyard itself is also about, say, 60 feet in diameter. So it's a fairly sizable courtyard. You do see that there are collapsed statues and stonework, and that the trees themselves look like they were part of a fire, and have just kind of strewn to ash.
This was a good map choice, by the way. I know exactly where we are.
Right, I feel like I recognize it also just from watching Brighton play.
Alright. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Okay, so you step out into the courtyard. How are you approaching this?
Oh, I'm moving as quietly as I possibly can. Would you like me to roll stealth?
I would.
I'm letting him scout ahead first.
That is a 17 plus 7. Do math.
24. Very nice. So you start to make... Actually, you know what? I just realized I forgot my fucking dice tray. So I will be right back.
Get that straight. What are you doing, you mad lad?
We need an appropriate dice jail, besides just the table.
You can give it to Scooter.
Scooter, you want some dice? Do ya?
He don't know what he wants. Yeah, you might remember there's 2 guys with lanterns that walk around here. And then to the right, there's always that big, pale dude. Yeah, you've probably watched me take them on many times.
Okay, I was so focused on actually getting the map set up that I didn't actually get any dice ready, so give me 1 second.
No worries.
Fish some out of my dice bag really fast.
There you go.
Let's take a handful, a couple of d20s. It'll work. Okay. Oh, well, it's not on even ground, so let me just hold it. Okay. So you outside, and the air is, as you've noticed, is getting... There's a charred smell to it, as if there is something burning. While there are no immediate fires, it has this very acrid, very acidic taste that it leaves in the back of your throat. As you continue out, specifically here, you can notice that just under your feet, the stone looks wet, and the stone itself has a very subtle, very subtle crimson hue to it.
Do I know what this means?
Just make a general intelligence check. The DC is not high.
God, this dice is rolling constant 17, so that's 17 plus 2, so 19.
Okay. It looks like a lot of bodies were dragged through this area.
Oh. It's that kind of red. Huh.
Nothing seems to react to your presence that you can.
Alright, I'll gesture to Poppy. Like, it seems safe enough for now.
Okay. I'll just. If he's saying it's safe, I'll just walk out as normal.
Well, I mean, I would
Okay.
still maintain a bit of...
Oh, a bit of tiptoe.
Yeah, a bit of tiptoe.
I would like you to make your own stealth check, please.
Total 16.
So, Poppy, as you step out, following Strider's lead, you don't notice it in time. You kick a loose stone and it slides on the ground as it falls down the staircase. Your hearts stop. You stop and you listen. Please make perception checks.
14 plus...
15.
18 total.
There is a shuffling noise coming up on the roof. Immediately notice it. Just kind of like something, little tiny claws chittering against roof tiles. Coming up above your heads.
Yeah, bow's out, I'm wheeling around.
Like you're going back inside?
No, I mean, I got my bow at the
Oh.
ready and I'm wheeling around.
Oh, okay. So you're not going. Okay.
When he said like bows out, I was like, oh, he's leaving.
No, I was just gonna look at it first.
So there is slow, and it's getting closer. You slowly see very long claws kind of wrap around the edge of the roof. This is your last moment before you'll be detected. So choose what happens now.
We should probably get back inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we make our way back in.
On the double.
Okay. So as you do, so you both, how quick are your steps? Do you haul ass?
As stealthily as possible, yes. As quickly as we could stealthily move.
Okay. So how do I want to do this?
Crouch running.
Crouch running. You know what? No, I'll give it to you. There is noise. You see whatever it is, and then you see those fingernails also claw around the sides of the doors as something slowly starts to show itself. What do you do?
How big is it in comparison to the door?
It's in comparison to the door. You don't really see its figure, like you don't see its silhouette or
Alright,
anything.
how big are its
But
claws compared to the door?
About the length of your forearm.
Oh shit. That's not pleasant. Okay.
They are jet black, as if they are absorbing all light hits them. It's a strange look, as if there's just a void in space, and you only recognize it because of the shape it takes.
This feels like something we shouldn't tussle with.
We should what?
This feels like something we shouldn't tussle with.
No,
Now,
absolutely
you're
not.
running out of time.
Well, shit. We
Talk.
won't be able to open the door in the back. Is there anywhere to hide in here?
There are overturned pews, some rubble. There are places to hide if you are quick about it.
We probably should do that.
Okay.
Alright. We're gonna duck into cover.
Okay, I would like you, and you can do it anywhere on the map, I would just like you to place yourselves where you would think you would be safest. let me know once you've finalized. You both make another stealth check.
Okay.
Stop rolling at the table.
Hold on. I gotta do math on this.
11 for Poppy.
26
Okay.
for Strider.
Shit.
You know? As it starts to peek around, it kind of drops like a blot of ink, just lands on the ground. I'd have to zoom in to actually get a good look at it, but this is a very big map. It's just this shadowy figure. It just kind of claws its way, and it moves unnaturally. It moves fluidically, as if it almost doesn't have bones, but there is structure to its limbs.
Have you put a token for it on our map?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh, I put it on the wrong layer. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
The way you were talking about it, I was like, I think I'm supposed to see it.
I see. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. This is fine.
Poppy, you said you got an 11?
11. So she's currently doing that thing where she's like trying to control her breathing by covering her mouth with her hand.
Okay. Roll blow. So what I'd like you to do, make a wisdom saving throw.
17.
Okay, that's enough. You find yourself start to panic. You're like, and you're been training to be a monk for a while, but you still something about it just has never clicked with you. This moment of distress, this moment of life or death, you just feel something kind of slide into place. You just, for the briefest of moments, you enter that meditative state. You manage to calm your breathing, and you move the hand, and you're just like, takes another step inside. It does not seem noticed you so far. It looks around, and it makes this strange clicking noise in its throat, as if it's feeling its way around with sound.
Okay.
Would you like to do anything?
Yes, I would, actually. I'm going to cast Minor Illusion
Okay.
down this way.
Okay.
Very shrill scream.
Okay. What's the range on Minor Illusion?
Minor Illusion is 30 feet.
Okay, so it doesn't get to the door. It will get to the relative side of the other chamber. Okay.
I would just like it in that direction, period.
Okay. Is there a save for the creature to determine
I believe
if
it's
an
an
illusion or not?
intelligence. Yes, a successful intelligence or investigation check.
What is your DC?
Be off of my intelligence, I believe.
It would be 10 plus your intelligence modifier.
Okay, so the DC is going to be a 12.
Okay. Good to know. Oh wait, so it'd be 10 plus intelligence plus proficiency.
Okay, so it'd be a 14 total then.
Its figure kind of vibrates for a moment, and it looks sharply where its head should be, kind of undulates sharply towards that direction. And it takes a few steps forward in that direction, but then stops. Its head and realizes that was not a real scream.
Look.
It's going to make a perception check. Carter, what was your stealth roll?
26.
In fact, I'd actually like you to make another one because you did cast the spell.
Okay. 25 actually.
Okay. Enough. So it does begin to look around. It does take a few steps to where you are, but I will say I can give you a square of movement without being detected if you want.
Okay.
You can move 5 feet in any direction because you did roll so high.
I assume that those are of equal level.
Yes, and that was a good decision because it does kind of dart around where you were. It's looking there, but it doesn't see anything. Turns. Begins to slowly leave. It's moving at a very slow pace, about 5 feet per round. So you will either be here for a while. Is there anything you want to do, or you just want to wait and see what it does?
I actually would like to wait for it to get a little bit farther down the hall, and then I'm going to gesture back at Poppy towards the door.
Okay. Me. There is a d6. There we go. So I'm going to randomly determine the direction in which it travels, alright?
Okay.
Here we go. Which would actually, I need a d10 to do that. So let me actually get a d10 instead.
I thought it was a. Never mind.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, it'd be a D8 for directional movement.
Right, you right. You guys are right. I'm a good DM, I promise.
It's alright. 8 is as high as I can count to, which is the only reason I know that.
Or actually doubles back. Takes a step in this direction. And its eyes, not eyes, but its figure is kind of kind of, what's a good way to explain it? You know in horror, when the monsters are kind of doing that weird visual vibration thing?
Kind of like a staggery sort
Yeah,
of.
it's both staggered, but sometimes there's a double of the image. It's moving so fast, like you're
Vibrating.
moving your hand, swiping it really quickly in front of your face. So for that brief moment, there's like kind of that smear of movement.
Yes, I know what
That's
you're...
that's kind of how it's moving. It's becoming more erratic because it knows it's not alone, but it's getting frustrated because it can't see you. Let's roll one more d8. Actually, we'll make it a contest. Poppy is a little too far away. Strider, make one more stealth check for me.
Natural 20.
Total of...
Grand total of 27.
Woohoo.
I don't know why that math was so hard. I've literally been in that range.
You got an actual 20. It does not detect you. They got close. This time it does start to wander away. I'll take, for the sake of brevity, it does eventually wander its way, and it takes about a good minute. So about a good solid 2 minutes have passed since this started. But about now, it will be on the other end of the chamber, in front of the broken down doors.
All right. Yeah. This is when I'm gonna motion to Poppy.
Are you both gonna exit
both.
out the door you came from?
Yes, I assume the door is now fully opened at this point because that thing came through.
Yes.
Wait, you mean this door?
Yes, that one.
Oh.
That, as of right now, that's our escape avenue.
Okay.
What?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's shorter for you to get there than it is for me.
That's why I'm motioning for you to go.
Okay.
Poppy, make a stealth check.
Oh, I'm readying an action, by the way.
You're what?
I said I'm gonna ready an action.
Okay, go
Just
ahead.
in case.
What are you readying an attack?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Just
good
in
to know.
case this goes poorly.
I rolled a 16 total.
16. That'll do it. I'll say you can get to the mouth of the door and just outside it without being detected. Right, Strider, what do you do?
I'm gonna follow suit. Once she's cleared the doorway, I'm following after.
Right. One last stealth check for me.
Oof. That's a 12.
Higher than its passive.
Oh, thank God.
I'll say you get outside without issue.
Okay.
You made it out of one trial and into the next. But you proceed from here.
I'm gonna take a better look at our surroundings this time.
Okay, so you just want to make a general perception check?
I do.
God. I'm not moving your character down to the courtyard. I'm going to move your tokens out into the middle of the courtyard so you can get a better sense of your visual space.
Don't bother. I just rolled another natural one.
Okay. Well, you see what you see.
Yep.
You've gained no more information. Your adrenaline is still going. Like, your heart is pumping. You're like, fuck. You're trying to keep your shit together.
Can I also take a look around? $20 total.
Okay. This will be a good thing to see if Brighton can see what Poppy sees. I'm going to move you out here.
I do.
So that's your general point of view. It's a courtyard. Off to the south, there is a set of stairs that descend downward. And up here, there is a gate that is partially ajar. As for any other movement in the courtyard, you don't see anything. That's what you're able to gather with the 20.
We seem to have a slight breather for now.
Seem to have what again?
A slight breather.
What was that thing?
Better if you'd actually like to make a history check, you can.
You said me or her?
You.
Okay. 12.
So, your tribe has seen some sort of grand event for a long time now, but they've never managed to pinpoint a date or a time frame, only that it was coming. The visions that the forest has granted you over the many centuries that your tribe has been there have always been vague and dissociative. But shadowy figures are the norm in them, like a common theme. They seem to just kind of spawn out of a darkness that is so deep and so entrenched in, like, unreality is the best way to think of it, that they just consume anything that they touch. Your mind immediately jumps to that, but as to the specifics of what the creature itself was, you can't necessarily glean past that.
Okay. Then I will respond with, that was something not of this world. Something that we should not mess with.
Because it wants to kill us.
Because it wants to kill us.
Okay, then yeah, we should avoid it.
How loud are you talking?
Oh no, not loud at all.
Still a whisper. I'm mostly talking this loud just for the sake of the fact we're sharing a mic.
We're stage whispering. Gotcha.
Actually, you know what? We should not tangle with that. Can you hear that, DJ?
Yes, I can hear that.
Okay. All right. Cool. Good.
Alrighty. So, how would you like to proceed from here?
So I'm gonna silently point out to Strider the things that I've seen, and like let him know there's stairs that go down. Then there's also a gate that's slightly ajar.
This is a tough decision here. I'm gonna say let's go for the gate.
You did say to get to higher ground.
I did, yes.
Okay, so you're going to move. The gate is more to the northeast from here. It's the top corner of the map. That would be where the gate is.
This general
So,
direction.
how are you going to tread this large distance between the stairs and that gate?
Stealthily, obviously.
Okay.
Everything is stealthy.
Pretty much.
Okay. Stealthy. Also, what is your path?
I am going to stick personally to the outside edge of the courtyard.
Okay. So it is the outside edges of the courtyard are covered in rubble. So if you make a stealth check on them, it'll have to be at disadvantage.
Oh,
You'll be more out of line of sight. Whereas if you are treading across the more even ground, you're more easily seen, but you're able to travel more easily.
What about...
Like it's one of those instances that it's not technically a far distance. You know that there are things in this city that are faster than you.
I'm gonna walk the line then, right at the edge of the rubble.
Okay. Yeah.
What?
Then if that. What was that, Carrera?
I was just gonna say, what about a water?
All right. Whole reason we came out here.
You can go check the well if you like. It's not far.
I'm just going
I'll
to
say if you want. I'll say so. Here's what I'll say. If you want to make a stealth check along the path Brighton said, deviate down to the well and then back up, I'll still allow you to make the same stealth check, but DC will be slightly higher.
Unless you want me to get the water. Or I could keep you covered.
You need your hands free more than I do.
Okay.
So.
Alright. You get the water, I'll keep you covered.
Okay.
Okay. So, Poppy, I want you to make a stealth check, and Brighton, I want you to make a perception check.
17 total for me.
18.
Okay. So you make your way out to the well, and neither of you seems to notice anything outward react to you. Poppy, you feel confident that your steps were very light. You're a little bit more aware of the uneven ground after the stairs caught you off guard. I will say that you're able to make it out to the well in relative safety.
Yay.
Nothing around you seems to shift or make noise the way that creature did.
I'll
I
look.
will say though that the city itself is not silent. It is noisy in a horror movie sort of way. There are distant screams. There is smoke rising off to the east, or really in every direction. If you try to look hard enough, the sky itself is overcast. There's always that smoky, acrid taste in the air. So when I say silent, I mean doesn't sound like anything's close to you specifically, but there are screams in the distance, wolves off, roar of a beast somewhere else. Definitely not safe.
Well, as a shiver goes down Poppy's spine, she'll just kind of glance into the well.
Okay. I'll make a perception check.
Okay.
Because it is a deep well and the light is low. We're about midday, but there is an overcast sky, and the sun itself doesn't seem to be as bright as it should be.
Probably
So
smoke.
visibility is poor.
That's cocked. And that is a total of 8.
Okay. So there is a pulley system, to hoist the water out of the well. If you wanted to use that, you don't know how loud that would potentially be.
I was just about to say that.
As you look down, you do see that the water level is relatively high. You don't see anything in the water, but it's kind of got that pool of water, swimming pool with a dark bottom, so you don't know if something's in the water or if it's just low visibility or if that's just the normal color it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You do definitely see water, and it's within. If you were to really stretch, you could probably reach down and scoop some water up. But it would be you'd have to commit to that sort of action, like you'd be bent over.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna dip my water skin in it.
Okay. So as you do, and as your fingers touch the water, and you dip your water skin underneath, texture hits you. You immediately pull your hand back. As you do, just red. Your hand is red, and it just travels and drips down your arm.
I was afraid of that.
The smell of iron hits your nose. I would actually have to make you mark off a day of water, as that water skin is now contaminated.
Oof.
Well,
Well, don't that beat all? Well.
Welcome to Legende.
I'm
to the end of the world.
just gonna look at Strider, just horrified.
Now, it's not pure blood,
Right.
but it's definitely
Soupy blood.
it's definitely viscous enough. The texture and the odor of the water itself has changed.
I'm just gonna. Strider will just look down and kind of like shake his head, like I'm sorry, and then just kind of gesture with his head back towards the gate, like we should move on.
She will depressingly make her way back.
Okay.
Probably should leave that water skin, by the way.
I was about to say, are you going to hold on to the water skin? Are you just going to empty it and take it with you? What's your plan with it?
I'm just gonna leave it.
Okay.
Because I'm sure the water skin is covered in blood also. Not even just on the inside, it's on the outside.
You didn't fully submerge it, but one side of it is definitely wetter than the other.
She won't want that memory, so she'll leave it.
Okay. Alrighty. So I'll say that after that, and with your stealth checks, I'll allow your current stealth checks to be persistent, or you do manage to make your way to the gate undetected. So that last 20, 25 feet, you're good to go.
Okay.
So you would be standing here. The door, and it's two large double doors. It looks like at one point they would barred on this side, but that bar, that large iron bar, it doesn't look like it was ripped off. More like that it was mechanically removed. Like all of the screws and the giant bolts have been removed, and the iron bar itself is actually resting on the ground. The door itself, whatever security measures it might have once had, it's just a free opening, giant double doors now.
Okay. So you did say it was a gate, correct? Like we can see through it?
Correct. It is fully ajar, so you could get an angle.
Alright. Well, as I'm approaching it, I'm going to be just kind of looking ahead to see if there's something that we can immediately like duck into cover to on the other side.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
So good at those. That is another 12.
Okay. So it empties out onto a very short bridge. Well in its construction, it looks like there have been some semblances of attempted defense, like those sticks, I forget what they're called, but just those barriers of pointed sticks that are set outwards.
Barricades.
They looks like they've just been kind of knocked over. There are red on them. There are some corpses of beasts up against them. It looks like but that's not unusual. These beasts may be in number, but they're not necessarily hardy. But so they are able to kill. It's more their numbers that makes them such a nuisance. But there are several barricades set up, and then the bridge does eventually end about, I'd say 30 feet from where you're standing, and it spills out into an alleyway that forks off in two different directions.
Is it like a stone bridge, like sturdy?
Yes.
Okay.
Stone.
All these options. Well, come this far, might as well proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'll go ahead and duck on through the gate.
Yeah. So the next map is very big, so you'll probably have to zoom into yourself, okay?
Gotcha.
Okay.
But you are in the top left corners. Find yourself out onto that alley. There are that smell of smoke is a little stronger the further you travel down. It looks like there is a fire, or was a very pungent fire that has stopped burning, but that smell of smoke, while persistent, seems to be a little stronger this direction. But from where you're standing, you can see that the bridge spills out into a main thoroughfare. That church was the end of the road that you were traveling, and so this travels out and further into the city.
Okay. I'm still going to be specifically looking for higher ground for us to get to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Poppy lived here just for a short bit, and I know it's a really big place. But is there any like recognition of where we currently are and how close it is to like the city exit?
Okay. So you passed through. In fact, I would like both of you to give me a religion check.
Oh, good. A 20.
Total of 8. Because I rolled a 9 minus 1.
Okay. Well, Strider would know. Just passed through a chapel of Fracture, goddess of the binding threads, which basically the stories say she's in charge of destiny and fate and the flow of time. So that would place you, she's one of the bigger ones in the Erboden pantheon. That would place you somewhere within the relative religious districts. So I would be more on the north end of the city. Now, the temples themselves do generally line the road toward the north gate. So you can gather that if you continue this direction, you might find a road that is at least open enough to find your way out of the city. You would also know that a lot of the temples themselves have been the focus of this attack. So take that information with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So, I'm gonna go ahead.
So if you're looking specifically for higher ground, many of these, like, this is a flat land. It's not as if there's a rise and fall in this area of the city. Are multiple storied buildings.
Yes.
That you could in your immediate vicinity, just above. The first, second story building, I would say, is about 80 feet from you.
Okay. As far as any exterior ways to get to the roof, anything like that.
Oh, so you just want to try and hop the roof?
Well, for starters, I'd like to get on the roof. Yes.
Okay. So this vantage point, I'd say you're not far enough into the road to like have any visual distinction to the structures themselves. You'd have to move further along the bridge and out into the town proper from where you're standing to be able to make a check like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Okay. So I'll say that's good enough. You can, first of all, of course, make me a stealth check as you start to move again.
As I do. That is going to be a 17.
Okay. And then, so from here, What specifically are you trying to look for right here?
So what I'm wanting to do is get to the roof so that we can kind of get a lay the land more or less to try to find safe avenues for us to get away from, and if nothing else, just get a short break, a short reprieve from the horrors of the street life.
What I'll tell you is that from this level of the city, this is about as high as it goes. So the bridge you're on, if you look down, while the fog is thick, it's kind of the undercity of Legende. So there aren't, as far as geography goes, there is no more ascending possible. The structures themselves, this is more of a residential area of the Pantheon district. So there are some businesses. There's a stone carver, which is that has multiple unfinished statues right in front of you on that corner, that you might be able to get up onto the first story of a building if you tried. I would like to remind you that that first entity did find you by climbing over a roof, so keep that in mind.
That is fair.
If you do make your way onto a roof, you don't know what might already be there. There are, I will say, if you are able to put in the effort, there is the potential that you can get on top of a roof.
Okay. Yeah, the fact that the thing was on a roof is a good point, and I don't think I could get up climbing on statues in any quiet sort of manner. So, actually, you know what? Being in a place where there's lots of cover is probably optimal. So, we'll just continue along.
Great. All right. So, from this point, left or right?
I'm gonna let you make this call.
This side has more cover. It looks like. Is that like a little straw roof kind of thing?
Oh, that's actually wood planks that are on the ground.
Oh, on the ground. It looked like it was attached to the roof for some reason. Well,
you know, artistic interpretation. I'm not sure, but the bridge right here is overlapping it, so I'm going to say they're on the floor.
Okay.
Okay, well then this way might have more cover.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you there.
And less noise.
Alright, we'll proceed just down the cobblestone path.
Okay, I will give you both 20 feet of movement of being undetected before make another stealth check. Place yourselves where you would like to be.
5, 10, 15, 20.
You know what, make it 30. 20 is a weird number.
Okay.
30 would be a full round of movement, so I'll say that. Okay.
But my speed is 40.
Hush.
From this vantage point, you can see that the road continues to curve along and out of sight, while maintaining the. So from this direction, so I'm just going to kind of draw with the ruler, so you can kind of get what I'm saying. It kind of does a curve like that along the structures.
All right, hooks to the right, or I guess our left.
Yeah, our left.
We should stay out of the middle of the
Far,
road.
far, relatively quiet. There's no movement that you can tell.
I didn't hear what you said, Braden.
Oh, I said we should try to stay to the. What did I say? We should stay out of the center of the roads.
Okay.
So hug the buildings.
Alrighty. So. All right. So I should ask, are any of you keeping a lookout while you're traveling?
Always.
I will say that there are two tasks that you need to delegate between the two of you. Keeping a lookout and navigating, because this is a high survival situation. So being able to keep your awareness on more than one task, a little challenging for someone of y'all's experience. Say one of you needs to choose one or the other.
I'll navigate because I lived around here.
Okay. Actually, out of curiosity, what's your perception?
It is +6.
Okay. Maybe you should be on lookout, and I'll be the one to kind of go forward because my stealth is higher.
Okay.
So
I see. Now I'll say that you can kind of impart your knowledge on him, like, no, not that way, this way.
Okay, yeah.
But as for what checks you're making, it will be one or the other of you.
I'll basically lead the way, just to make sure the direction that you point me initially is clear, and then when you catch up to me, tell me where to go next.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So, do you want me to do a quick look around now, DJ?
Would, please. Perception.
Total of 10.
God, we are killing these perception rolls.
Everything still seems pretty quiet. Relatively. Again, very noisy city.
Yeah, quiet in our immediate vicinity.
Now, I will say that with a 10, given the state of the city until this point, there is, you would notice, a lack of people, dead or living. Streets are empty.
Good to know.
It's weirdly quiet.
All right.
But continue down that way.
Alright, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me. Alright, there's going to be a lot of those, so keep that number in your head.
22.
I guess is Poppy following close behind the entire time?
It's up
Or
to you two.
would you rather have me like wait back until you move forward then catch up?
Yeah, I would say probably hang back just a little bit.
Okay.
Just in case there's something that I run into that I need to back up real quick, at least you'll be a little bit farther back.
Okay. So I will follow 15, 20.
As you approach this side of the street, Strider, there is a figure from this hay bale right here. Wrong. Okay. This hay bale right here kind of rounds the corner, humanoid in shape, dressed not dissimilarly to you. It is a tall figure dressed in the garb of a crow. A long pointed doctor's mask, with a high hat, a feathered cowl, and she says, "Oh well, little ants scurrying about underneath dark night."
Alright, I know her name, but does Strider know her?
Make a history check. Advantage.
Alright, come out of dice jail. 19.
Hey, I'll give it to you. This is Eileen Crow. She's actually long left the Paradigm Wilds. Her figure, her gait, is immediately recognizable to you. She doesn't seem to have recognized who you are.
Okay. So, I recognize her gait. Is it relaxed? Is it, like, threatening? Insight. Ooh, that's not great. It's a total of 8.
It's hard to read. Yeah, has a mask on, so her facial expressions are already hidden from you.
Cloak.
The clothes she's wearing are not fitting. Like, they are fairly loose, so her actual body language is a little hidden. It's just more of her posture and how she carries herself that's familiar to you. And that kind of raspy, almost smoker's voice, but not quite as severe. But, you know, getting up there in years, it's just familiar. You do know that Eileen is human, unlike your elf self.
Elf self.
So, she, while you are technically young by elven standards, about a little over 100 years, she's probably pushing 50 or 60.
Yeah. And I would probably hold her in a great respect, despite her having left. Because I also left, so I don't know. I can't be judgmental.
I have no idea what's going on, so.
is true to form. You wouldn't.
Alright, fine. Eileen, what brings you here?
And that the sound of her name going to really start to focus in on your presence. Now, I guess I should have asked that before the session began. How are you both clothed at the moment?
Well, Strider would have his cloak on. He doesn't have the scarf quite yet, but he just has his cloak with a hood, and it's pulled up. So she would be able to see his face.
Poppy would probably just have normal traveler's clothes, because she doesn't wear armor, for one. And for two, that's what's in my equipment.
Okay. I guess another question is how much, based on your character profile and what you're actually wearing, how much skin showing is kind of what I'm trying to get at.
Oh.
Strider's is none. Well, besides his face.
I would say Poppy's showing about the same amount of skin that she's currently showing in that picture on her token.
Okay, so forearm and biceps are also still exposed?
Yeah, is it warm out? Like, is that the type of season it is?
It's stifling.
Yeah, so...
I'll say it's on fire, so I would assume it's pretty warm even in winter.
But it is not quite in the summer months, but it's approaching.
And the clothes would be a little bit on the tighter fitting side just because loose clothing gets in the way when you're trying to escape things.
Okay.
And also it makes it easier for zombies to grab.
I'm asking questions that would adjust the DC on the check she's about to make.
Oh boy.
Let me see if she recognizes you, Strider. It has been some time. She rolls a natural 19, so she does know you. So I will tell you, Strider, that based on your perspective, Eileen left the wilds about 20 years ago from this point in the timeline. Of course, we are flashing back to this point in your lives. So she's been gone for quite some time. So it takes her a moment to really zero in on your face, because 20 years is a long time regardless of your species.
Yes, it is.
And she goes, "Know your face. I do not know your name. Who are you? How do you know me?"
I am Strider. I'm also from the wilds.
Ah, yes. Isn't it? Did fate, chance, can never decide. Goes. You are trying to escape this hellish landscape.
I'm trying to get this one to safety. And he'll gesture at Poppy.
Very well.
Poppy waves.
What I have had news for Raven. There is no safety to be had. This conflict is far beyond the walls of this city. I can see, one might say. But if your goal is to leave this, you'll perhaps still be able to help.
What do you have in mind?
Anywhere has to be better than here.
Oh. Perhaps. If you continue along this track, we'll run into all manner of beasts. That is true for any. I pray that I've been hunting for a number of years has finally shown itself here in this city, and the fact that it happens in the middle of this conflict, I cannot believe is coincidence. You know exactly what this event is, don't you, Strider?
I have an idea.
You feel it in your bones as sure as I do. Sort of resonating in the soul.
Poppy, you'll notice him tense up when she says that.
Yes, yes. It is that event.
What event?
Oh, you have not told her.
We'll talk about it later. Right now, we need to focus on what we need to do. My answer will not make a difference.
I'm holding you to that.
I can travel with you for a time if you like. But our ways will eventually part before the exit of this city. What do you say?
Strength in numbers.
You find Poppy, that she's a little dismissive to your presence. Her attention is primarily Strider.
Poppy is used to that.
Right?
That's why she's so outspoken. She will make herself known.
We will come with you. But I must ensure nothing happens to this one.
Well, I make no such promise. Help where I can.
Should I tell her my name since I know hers, or is there some sort of rule against that?
He's just gonna look at her. Look at Eileen, I mean.
What is your name, Flower?
Poppy.
Ah, I was not far off. Very well. She kind of strokes her chin a little bit. You lead, Strider.
Say again? I'm sorry.
You lead.
Okay. That's what I thought you said, I just wanted to make sure. Very well. Do you have any recommendation on which way we should go?
Up the roofs.
Noted.
And she just points. In fact, you seem to have traveled the same direction I just came from. What's up ahead, I'm not entirely certain. I have a hunch. Hunter's instinct, I might say. I have a prey marked, and it is in this direction. That's all I know.
Well, perhaps our goals will align then.
Strider, have you been trained in the way of marking yet? Did the others... They still as stiff to they pass that talent along?
I have learned very little, but I do know.
Interesting. There are some I can teach you along the way. Now, the longer we sit here and talk, the closer we are to our deaths. Okay. I'm actually not as terribly familiar with the city as you might think.
Very well.
Eileen the Crow has joined the party.
Dun, da, 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 da.
Honestly, I certainly hope her story arc doesn't end the way it does in Bloodborne.
You don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
Very well. Okay.
Hope for a good
So, I will impart Usman rules to this. So you can give her, as a bonus action, a command during her turns. Her stats are relevant stats. She has a +4 to her dexterity, +2 to her constitution, the +3 to her charisma. Does not have proficiency in any checks.
Okay. So
I will say, as your bonus action, you can issue her a command, move, an action, or wait. Okay?
okay. So I guess since I'm taking the lead, my bonus action will be primarily just gesturing you and her. So you move with her, okay?
Okay.
Let me make a stealth check. You know what? I'll give her a +6 to stealth, just because she's awesome.
Hell, she's the crow.
Do you need me to look out ahead again?
She does not roll well, though.
That's unfortunate.
She rolled a 2 and a 9 on her advantage. She rolled a 14. Oh, 15 altogether.
I imagine she's just casually strolling in the middle of the street.
A little not as concerned as you would hope she would be.
Somehow not surprised by that.
But she does follow along. Take a step forward as you do.
Alright.
And I will say, she max HP 42.
My god.
Guess we found her tank.
She's almost 4 times my HP. Alright. So, you want to
Been
make...
at this longer than you.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that. You want to make your perception roll?
That is a 22 for perception.
Okay. So from where you're standing, Poppy, you actually have a good line of sight. There's not a lot of movement, but there is, from this fog, right here, a pair of red eyes that aren't focusing on you, but they glow as they kind of sweep around.
Poppy's gonna duck behind the hail. The hay.
The hay bale?
Yeah. The hail! And then try to, like, silently gesture to Strider, like, get his attention and then point in that direction.
Alright. Well, he'll take a peek.
Okay, from your vantage point, Strider, here. Vantage point, you wouldn't be able to see it. It would be further in, like probably from right here, probably about right here.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm still alerted that there is something back there.
Lean will make a check, though.
Poppy's doing the thing where she's, like, waving her fingers in front of her face to be like, monster.
Yeah, Eileen sees it. She just kind of shrugs and just waits for Strider's command. You're getting the sense that he has a goal in mind for this encounter, having stumbled across you.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hope it's not what I think it is, but we'll see. Alright, so there's nothing to be gained from me going back, so I'm going to circle around the back of this tree.
Yep. And
I'm going to ready myself. I'm kind of leaned up against the tree with like full stretched arm, arrow knocked, and I'll gesture to Eileen, like just towards it in general. You know, she can take it as like a check it out or deal with it or whatever she wants to take that as.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, so you're just going to give her what specific command are you giving her? Because otherwise she's just going to interpret that as whatever she wants to do.
See, my conflict is I don't know if we should antagonize this thing or if we should just try to keep moving.
To you.
Actually, you know what? No. While I'm focused on that opening, I'm going to gesture for them to follow.
Okay. Follow you around that same path?
Yes.
Alright. Lean will take a few steps forward. And from now on, I'm going to use digital dice because my back is killing me, so I'm laying down in bed, so I can't roll my dice.
That's alright.
So, if you see my rolls, pretend you didn't.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to have to, this is what I'm going to have to tell you.
What rolls?
Just click off the chat log there. There we go.
Alrighty. She's going, now little raven. Plan.
My plan is we're going to try to sneak by that thing.
Well. Oh, from this vantage point, the road does eventually spill out and then curve again, this way up. Where's my ruler? So it goes boop, boop, like that.
Alright, so we're basically making a U here.
But not in the sense that you feel like you're going around in a circle. It's at an angle.
Huh. I would assume we're on the outskirts of the town then. Perhaps. Or at least getting close to there. Alright. 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That does not leave me a great spot. Let me do that again. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Ready.
I'm still
Predator?
focusing on. I've like unknocked the arrow, but I've still got it out, and I'm still focusing on that one spot as I walk forward.
Right. Okay, so I need you to make stealth check.
26.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Okay. Poppy, I need you to make a stealth check as well.
Okay. It's a 15. That's right, Scooter.
Oh. Better. As you motion, have them follow. And you see it. You can't react fast enough. As Poppy starts to take a step forward, Lean trips her. She stumbles. Moment. In that moment, there's a in that alleyway, and so you all have a moment to react.
Do I know that she tripped me?
It was not subtle.
Get fucked, scrub.
I'm gonna look at Strider like, who the fuck is your friend here? Like, just that, like, bewildered look.
Strider's gonna steal a quick glance in your direction, but he's still gonna maintain his focus on that alleyway.
Eternal flower. I need to see what he can do. As out of the shadows, a large, robed, hooded figure. I
God
need
damn it.
everyone to roll it. I need everyone to roll initiative.
I was worried. Hopefully it's not a female one. Oh, nice. 21.
A turn.
Also 21.
Uh-oh. My dex is +3.
Mine is also +3.
Mine's 17.
Mine's 16.
Okay.
So you go first.
Alright, so type your initiative in, please.
For all intents and purposes, I'll just make mine 22. However, it's...
Oh no, my bad. Mine's 20.
Oh, okay.
Thought my initiative was +4 already. It's only +3.
Why are you doing this? Here we go.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
So, Beast ties with you, Poppy. So what was your dexterity modifier?
+3.
Okay, so you do go first. And Eileen, will you... just here for the show. There we go. Alrighty. You know what? I'm going to turn on some battle music. So if you guys have Roll20 on, free, but I need some battle music. Personally, just as a person.
Hey, it's your burning city, man.
I'm missing a d6. Where's my Dragon Age d6?
All right, Strider, as this creature is out, what do you do?
I'm gonna loose that arrow that I had ready. Or
Sure.
that I now have ready.
Okay.
Alright. And was I hidden to it?
Yeah, you were.
Okay, good. Good. Does a 14 hit it?
14 misses.
Well, shit.
Just barely misses. It's strange. So you hit it, and the arrow seems to sink in. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust, but it's actually caught on rags, not flesh. The arrow is just kind of caught in her sleeve.
Okay. Then...
I'll say that was your held action when the encounter started. Now you can take your turn as normal.
Okay. Did that alert it to my presence?
Yes, it did.
Okay. So... Fortunately, that was my... Alright. I was going to loose another arrow then. Is that a 13? Yes. So that is a total of 18.
Okay, that definitely hits.
Alright. Not getting any sneak attack damage, but it will take 9 damage.
Ooh, gets a good hit. As it recoils, as it sticks into its shoulder. As you do, those red eyes swivel towards you, Strider. They are glowing and they are piercing, and they are terrifying.
Then I'm going to think about my options here. So could theoretically actually I'm gonna go
Also keep in mind that the street ahead of you is unscouted.
It is. That's a fair point. Alright. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Just want you to make sure you make educated decisions here.
Alright, so I'm going to go back here, duck behind this tree. I'm going to go ahead and bonus action, roll some stealth. Plus 21.
Good to know. Turn.
That is the end of my turn.
Poppy.
Well, as a close quarters combat person, I'm gonna start making my way towards it.
Go ahead,
Since-
use that 40 feet of movement you got there.
Since Strider attacking was the physical confirmation of, oh, we're doing this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 is as close as I can get.
Yeah, so it's a big map.
Yeah.
Say you can still hold your attack for when it gets closer, though.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. So, I have the quarterstaff in one hand.
So you're preparing a quarterstaff attack.
Yes.
Is there anything else you wanted to do?
No, mentally I flip it off though. Not in real life, mentally.
Okay. Alrighty. It's now the beast's turn. It is going to take a step forward, so you get your attack.
That is a 21 to hit.
Definitely hits.
That is 9 damage.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
And then bonus action, unarmed strike.
Don't. This was a held action. So you
Okay,
don't
never
get a
mind.
bonus action.
Never mind then.
Alrighty.
Just
So
a little bap on the head.
It's going to attempt to make a grab attack at you. So, see if it hits first. Let's use my jumbo d20 because I like it.
Bringing out the big boys.
Feels good. It feels good to roll. It's made of metal and it's like thump when it hits.
I also have one made out of metal, but it's not big.
I'm going to assume a 20 hits.
Yes, that hits.
So you take... or bludgeoning damage, and you need to make a strength saving throw.
That is a total of 6, my friend.
It's a fail, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it grabs you by the shoulder, and its claws... not claws, but its grip is so firm that it immediately starts to bruise, and you feel the ligaments in your shoulder start to stretch too far. Then, as it grabs you, it goes in and takes a bite out of your neck. Another 2 piercing damage. It rolled a 1 on its dice.
Hooray!
However, you are considered poisoned until the end of your next turn.
No, I'm not immune to poison yet.
And as it's a bonus action, either to your dismay, it's out a shriek.
Oh god.
And it echoes far and wide. You just feel your stomach up. It's now Eileen's turn. Eileen. What are you going to do? Oh. You can either give her a command or you can allow her to act independently. She may not follow your command. Wait, you used your bonus action to hide.
I did, yeah.
Never mind.
That's what I was wondering, like, is it mine or hers?
Used your bonus action to hide. My bad. So she's just going to act on her own. Testing you, so she doesn't want to interfere. She's also not a monster. She's going to use her Bow of the Star Archer.
Ooh.
Here's her Huntress weapon. To cast Healing Word at level 1.
I couldn't find the D6, by the way.
There is my D4!
Don't remember if it came with
All
one.
these dice!
The D4 are the triangle ones.
Yes, that's helpful. Thank you.
Probably in the bottom of your foot.
Where the fuck? Jesus. That is 5 health. She rolled a 4.
Nice. Good for you,
Heals
kid.
5 points.
Oh, for 5 points.
Yeah.
Nice.
4 plus 1.
But it doesn't remove the poison condition.
Doesn't.
And how long does that last again? Till the end of my turn?
End of your next turn.
End of my next turn. Got it. Yay, disadvantage.
Now, as a reminder, we're using parrying and rallying rules. Keep that in mind that you can use your reaction to attempt to parry.
Oh, that's right.
Alright. But, that's the end of Eileen's turn.
Alright. So because I'm hidden or because there's an adjacent ally, take your pick. I'm rolling with advantage. 19.
Kick his ass.
Definitely
Hell yeah.
hits.
So let me get a d6 with some sneak attack with a whopping extra d6. So that is 7 plus 3. That's 10 damage total.
It's looking hurt. And this time your arrow actually sinks into its throat, and that screech becomes and it just kind of starts to gargle.
Alright, and then for my bonus action, I'm going to tell Eileen to prepare for the others.
Chuckles. Not taking this seriously.
I use my extra bonus action to give her a stern look. Just narrow my eyes at her.
A stern look is actually a free action.
Yeah, I narrow my eyes at her. And I end my turn.
You have an opportunity to make a rallying attack, which would burn both your action and your reaction. But if you hit, get to roll a hit dice to regain some health.
I am good with that right now because that healing word. So I'm just going to try to make a regular attack.
Go for it.
So that's disadvantage, correct?
Correct.
That's a 7 to hit.
Oof.
Does not hit, unfortunately. You can use your bonus action to attack again.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the unarmed strike after a normal attack action. I was making sure it did say like you have to hit. That's a 15.
Barely hits.
Yay!
Good job.
1d4. Hey, max damage. This is 7.
That'll do it. How do you want to do this?
I want to punch exactly where the arrow hit and just make it dig in even further.
Okay. And as you do, you feel it kind of sever the brainstem, and it just immediately falls like rags.
And then I'm going to use my movement to get the fuck back. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Alrighty.
I end my turn.
When she gets within earshot of me, I'm just gonna say, others will be coming.
Oh, good. I love company.
Poison condition ends.
Yay.
Let's see. Oh, they need to roll initiative, don't they? They don't just get to do what they want.
I mean, they don't have to. They can just stay elsewhere. That's fine.
They rolled a 1.
Yay! Maybe they don't want to fight us. Maybe that's cool.
I mean, I'm sure they saw what I did to their friend.
We killed their brood mother.
Lean's going to use her action to hold an attack.
Did we kill their brood mother?
No.
As one emerges, that same foggy alleyway. One emerges from the roof up here, standing on that roof. One actually drops down from behind you.
Oh, fuck.
Yay!
Right there.
Just fucking body slams Eileen.
Poppy, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, sir. Natural 1, so a total of 6.
Oof.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh.
How could you, Dragon Age dice?
I'll say, just because it's literally body slamming you, it's not making an attack or anything, but it's using its body weight to fall on you. You take 3 bludgeoning damage as it lands on you and then rolls back up onto its feet. Then, so Eileen is going to take a shot at disadvantage because it landed right next to her. She is going to take a shot with her bow and arrow. Misses, unfortunately. She wasn't expecting it to come from behind her. Alrighty. It's their turn. Okay. So this one next to you is going to take 1 attack at Poppy and 1 attack at Strider.
Okay.
First one at Strider. Wow, that dice went on a journey. 12 to hit.
Oh, thank God. No.
And Poppy. That is a 16 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay, very nice.
Monk armor.
Regular leather armor.
This one is gonna hop down. It's funny. It's not as if it jumps, but just like a blob of ink. It just kind of
Melds its way over.
splats on the ground and then immediately reforms itself into a familiar shape. I'll say that was 15 feet of its movement, so it gets to go there. This guy gets 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And quite close enough. It's gonna make a tendril attack at you, Strider. Need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
I keep remembering things I can do at like level 7, and I'm like, oh wait.
17.
17 makes it.
Whew.
So its inky form shoots out, and it attempts to wrap around you like a whip, but you see it coming a split second before it happens, and you duck beneath it. And this one's a little too far away to do anything. So it is actually now your turn, Strider.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need to use my bonus action to disengage.
Don't forget, your bonus actions also go towards commanding.
Yeah. Just can't really do much right from right there. Okay. Now I forget, if you make a ranged attack against a target that's not adjacent to you, does an adjacent target get to make an opportunity attack? Or is that only with Sentinel?
No, that's not how that works.
That's only
Okay.
Sentinel.
Okay. All right.
Unless they have the Sentinel feat.
Okay.
Which,
But because you are still next to a hostile target, that attack will still be at disadvantage.
I see.
or else I think that's something that level 7 Poppy has.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna let Eileen act freely then.
Okay.
Disengage, take a step back. Well, not like that, but take a step.
Yes, in a way that doesn't provoke
Yeah.
opportunity.
And we're gonna take a shot at the one that is on top of Poppy for that advantage.
On top of Poppy, you said?
Yes.
Go for it.
17.
That hits.
So wow, okay. That is for a total of 12 damage.
The arrow sinks in, but it kind of has a give to it. Kind of like you shot it into like a body of water. So it does damage, but not as much as you were hoping.
Bollocks.
That's piercing damage, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, so yeah. Does not do as much as you were hoping.
Resistant.
Are your fists magical by chance?
No, not yet.
Damn.
That's like level 5 or level 6. That's way late.
Alright, this is gonna be fun. I don't want to stray too far, so... Huh. Yeah,
I just noticed that these guys are standing at a perfect right angle.
Oh, would you look at that?
Sorry, that's wasn't intentional, but it makes me happy.
Heaven forbid we mess up the L, so... Alright, I'll end my turn there then.
Alrighty. Poppy.
I'm gonna hit it.
Okay, go for it.
I'm really mad it landed on me.
Oh, again, you can use your when you hit and you attack the same target, you can use your reaction to make a rallying attack.
That is a 12 to hit.
Okay, but were you going to do a rallying attack? It hit you? It did hit you. Yeah, it fell on you.
Yeah.
So you can rally against it if you want.
So if if I try to rally with my bonus action unarmed strike?
It has to be your main attack.
Has to be the main attack.
So you don't know the result yet, so you don't know if the 12 hits, so I'll leave it up to you.
No, I'm gonna hold off on it now. For now.
Alright, 12 does not hit.
Yeah, I want to save my reaction just in case. Bonus action, unarmed strike.
For it.
10 to hit, so no.
Oh.
I'm going through ink.
It's just that strange otherworldly motions it makes. When it's still, it looks like it has limbs and bones and an elbow, but then once it starts to move, it all just kind of becomes very squiggly, like a children's drawing, before snapping back into place.
Oh, I'm guessing you don't flank.
No, I don't.
Okay, then yeah, that's my turn.
Eileen's going to act freely. And
you go, girl.
Strider.
Yep.
You've only heard stories about trick weapons. To see them in action is something to behold. As Eileen, with her bow, flicks a switch near where the hand meets the guard, and the string of the bow actually snaps and detaches as the two halves of the bow jut away from each other, and she flicks, and she's now holding 2 daggers. She's gonna make one attack at this guy. It's a natural 19, so that'll definitely hit. D6. That's... Ooh, math. Math is failing me. That's 8 pushing damage. And the second attack, it's a natural 20. Jesus Christ.
Woohoo!
Get him, Eileen!
My girl! Even though she fucked me up.
That's double the dice. That's 12 piercing damage. Yeah. That'll do it. As in a swift moment, flicks daggers in her hand, and like with a follow through, almost like she's doing a dance, bisects it in several places, and it just, that solid form that it's maintaining literally just turns to water and spills out on the ground. And she gives you a hand on her hip, Strider. You're not impressing me, Raven. And that's her turn. It's now the creature's turn. Keeping this guy on the map just because he's the initiative boy. If I delete him, he'll be removed from initiative, and that's not fun for me. So this guy's gonna rush forward. You know what? Make it? What's 25 feet away? I don't even know. 5. Oh, you're all within range.
Yay!
Okay. Alright, so yeah, you know what? This one's gonna rush forward. This one's gonna rush forward. These are creatures that move with intelligence. They see an opportunity to nom. Alright, so one of them is going to make a tentacle attack against you. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Might actually turn the lamp on here. Okay, 19. Nice.
19. Okay, that makes it. So again, it's trying to restrain you with its inky, like, just kind of like it's cracking a whip at you and trying to restrain you. But it misses. You're just too quick for it. So this one's going to make 2 attacks against you without advantage. Oh my gosh, guys. So that's a 5 plus 6 is 11.
No. I'm still standing.
16 plus 6 is 22.
Yeah, that's a big yeah.
I love my Cthulhu dice, but the font is so weird. What did I roll? Oh, it's weird because the 6 is Cthulhu. I was wondering what I was looking at. That's 8 piercing damage.
You said 8?
Roll the 6 on its dice.
Oh boy.
6 plus 2. And it's odd. As it strikes you, as its form, it's a simile of a sickle. It rakes it across in your head. Suddenly, hear a voice that's not yours, just sobbing, going, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." As it releases, no longer in physical contact with you, the voice is gone.
Okay. Well,
Again, you may make a rallying attack if you want.
Yeah. Disengage. And pop there. And I'll take a shot at the one that tendril attacked me.
Okay, so the one that tendril attacked you didn't damage you. If you want to rally, you have to attack the one that hit you.
Ah, true story. Okay. Then, yeah, I'll do that.
That's the one up here. This one that actually hit you, this one right here tried to restrain you.
Okay. That's good. Does an 18 hit?
18 definitely hits.
Yes. Okay. And I get no kind of bonuses on that. So... Alright, it's gonna take 8 damage, and then I need to roll D8.
Roll the hit dice minus 2.
Yep. So I will regain 5.
Nice.
5 hit points. There you go. So is that 8 total or is that 8 halved?
8 halved. I'm sorry.
Oh, so he takes 4 damage.
Yes, he does.
He hit him twice.
And alright, that's the end of my turn. I've already bonus actioned.
Okay. Wait.
Poppy's mad.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna hit him with my stick.
Hit him with that stick.
You get in there, you get that boy.
Never mind, it's a 12.
Just misses.
Give him the backhand.
Chair! Give him the chair!
I'm gonna spend a key point
Oh.
and do flurry of blows.
I also love that scene from Shrek.
So hold on, I need to tell my app that I'm using one. Use done.
The first Shrek is one of the best movies on this goddamn planet, and you can't convince me otherwise.
You know what? I'll give you that. It's pretty up there.
Sorry,
So-
what did you roll, Guerrera?
I haven't yet. So first unarmed strike is a 19,
That definitely hits.
and that is max damage again, so 7.
Go for it, girl.
Second-
It's looking hurt.
Second unarmed strike is a 14,
Hits.
and that is 5 more bludgeoning damage.
Rolling all
Not
these
quite.
odd numbers.
Not quite dead.
And that is my turn. I'm gonna stay right here. Hopefully it'll keep its focus on me.
Then Lean's going to hold her action. She gives Strider the side eye.
What?
impress me.
All I can do is hide and shoot. Level 2.
I don't like your friend.
Alright.
Okay. It is their turn. Poppy. You need to make a dexterity saving throw, as this one's going to attempt to restrain you.
It's a 16.
Gosh, you fucking dexterous people.
Ha-ha!
That's all we got, man.
It's an OP stat.
I got wisdom.
So yeah, it misses. But this one, I'm going to let its prey get away. And it's going to pivot. Go after you, Strider.
Oh.
Damn it, not enough to do an opportunity attack.
Why gotta be like that, Holmes?
It does trigger Eileen's held action. Is she going to throw one of her daggers at it? As it got within melee range of Strider. Oh, Eileen.
No!
She rolled a 2.
No!
Damn it, Eileen.
Oh, the dagger actually lands in between your feet, Poppy. You're like, oh my god.
Is that a simple weapon?
Here?
A traditional dagger, yes, not a blade of mercy.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm proficient.
Actually, this wouldn't be a blade of mercy. This would just be a...
I'm just saying I'm proficient in simple weapons.
Oh.
It's gonna hit you for 19.
Yep, that'll do it.
Piercing damage.
How much?
Again, just that.
You cut out. 4?
Piercing. Again, just those wails of torment as it's making contact with your body, but then they're gone the moment it stops making contact. Contact.
The content is gone once the contact is released.
These guys used to be YouTubers.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, my reaction videos weren't funny.
I should have gone into Minecraft.
That unfortunately does hit though. That's a 21 to hit.
Damn.
He rolled really, really well.
Yep.
Ooh, you lucky son of a bitch. 5 damage.
Oh boy.
Okay. At the end of its turn, Eileen will use a legendary action. Bait and switch. Swap places with you. She grabs you by the shoulder and goes, "Oh, you're not nearly as ready as I was hoping you would be." Swaps places with you.
Level 2. Level 2.
Okay. Well, hello advantage. Well, thank God. 20 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And... wow, okay, that is 11 plus... Was it 3? 14 damage, so 7. 7 piercing.
Yeah, that's enough to kill it. How do you want to do this? Like, where do you hit it? This guy's been laying into you, so I'm assuming you've got some emotions.
I just want to full draw, hits him right in the chest, and gives him a little bit of lift as he dissipates.
So as you do, like squid ink just goes flying backwards. Gone. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
You know what? That was the guy that damaged me, so I'm gonna use my reaction there. I probably should have specified that, but I did.
I'll let you do it this time, but in the future you have to declare it as you're attacking.
Will do, boss. I just noticed the one that's staring back at me. Oh, okay, 4. I regained 4 HP. Yeah, it's not 1 HP no more. And now in my turn.
Alright. Happy.
It's so weird. Suddenly I don't hear like the Pokemon 1 HP sound anymore.
Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Come here, you bastard.
You channeling R2?
I'm gonna leave her dagger laying where it was. And that is an 18 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And 7 damage, bludgeoning.
Okay.
Bonus action, unarmed strike. It's a 21 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And that is 5 more bludgeoning damage.
Again, it's like punching a stress ball. Gives and eventually you feel it make impact, but it's frustratingly difficult to hit.
I have movement and reaction, so I'm gonna stay where I am, and I don't have any reactions right now.
Okay. Lean.
Isn't that right,
Without
Scooter?
hesitation. One quick movement. She's going to dart forward, doing a roll as she does, so she can pick up her dagger. As she comes back up to her feet, she's going to make 2 attacks. Oh my god, natural 20.
Nice.
And her second attack, 16. So yeah. For the sake of brevity, just lays into it. Like, even minimum damage will destroy this thing with a crit. And with that, we will drop out of combat.
Whew. So, yeah, Poppy would go up to Strider. Just be like, "Are you okay?"
He's gonna take one of the bottles of alcohol out and just do a shot
Okay.
before grunting and passing her the bottle. Why don't you hold on to that?
What is it?
It'll help.
If you say so.
Okay.
And Eileen casts Mass Healing Word with her bow of the Star Archer as she flicks the daggers back together, twists, and the string itself snaps back into place all on its own. And you both heal 7.
Almost max.
Thank you.
Eileen sighs and stows the bow back on her back. Ah, bollocks. Not nearly as prepared as I was hoping you were. The elders truly have taught you nothing. Disappointing.
I left.
I can tell. You left too soon. Foolish boy.
I didn't see a point in staying.
Now you might die because of it. Children. She looks around. Give my discretion, but I needed to see where your skill levels lied, and sneaking around in the dark has never been particularly my style. Must part ways here. I'm sorry that I cannot actually go with you, but you have proven that the quarry I seek is very far beyond you. Laughably so, in fact.
So you almost killed us as a test.
Correct.
That's terrible.
Poppy. Drink.
Correct. Welcome to the new world, girl. This is your future. I suggest you get used to it. They're only going to get harder.
The future can change.
It won't matter if you're not there to see it. It's stronger. And she does start to take off back towards the chapel. guys came. We'll leave one bottle of a potion of healing on the ground for you, though.
You can hold on to it.
Okay. No arguments here.
So you want me to drink this?
I wanted you to stop antagonizing her. I get the feeling she was planning to kill me.
You need better friends.
I wouldn't necessarily call her a friend so much as a shining light in the darkness.
She has a funny way of showing that.
And you do hear a voice in your head, Strider. Her voice goes, "Stronger. Me out."
You cut out a little bit there.
Seek me out.
Okay.
That's what it... Well, I know that's what it says.
Can respond.
I'm not.
You can respond to the message.
All right. The road lays ahead of you. What would you like to do?
As we soldier on. Kind of wasted enough time in this dump.
Has that battle we just did attracted any more visitors?
Make a perception check.
17.
Take a moment and you listen, and outside of the distant sounds that you've grown used to, battle and just general chaos, is you kind of start to slowly pull your attention inward. Nothing in your immediate vicinity grabs your attention.
You said nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. It seems safe to continue.
I feel like we should pick up the pace.
For the sake of brevity, just because we've been playing a little bit now.
Yeah.
I will say that this next length of road, unless you'd like to, stop and search, you can explore without issue, without needing to make cognitive stealth checks.
Alright, I was actually about to suggest we pick up the pace.
Yeah.
I was actually, we're getting there. So I'd say the next 150 feet of movement, you can do at your leisure.
Okay. Alright, so...
Let's go!
Like, if you see anything you want to stop and inspect, let me know.
Anything jump out at you?
No. Floppy's interest is getting the fuck out of here.
Fair enough.
This is a very...
I'm guessing these are just like
I
mountains.
think that was all of my movement there.
Yeah, it's actually a cliff drop.
Oh.
Yeah, so it actually descends down into another, not far. It would be about a 60, 70 foot drop.
Ouch.
So it's not mountain range levels, but it is, ouch.
Yeah, it's ouch levels, within ouch limits. Alright.
Now, and as you guys progress, Strider, and as you get to the, you guys can move a little bit forward, because you guys are actually at the next leg of the adventure. You do see that this right here, I can actually open it up for you. I think, yeah. See that if you had actually taken that road, you'd have arrived at a dead end.
Oh!
So you made the correct decision.
Yay!
Go us.
Because the wall, while scalable, is a good 40 feet. Like, it's a good distance. You couldn't notice it because it was so slight. You were steadily going up a very subtle incline.
Phew. Okay. Alright, well, let's turn our focus. Is that a bridge I'm seeing?
It's a staircase that descends.
Staircase descends. And doesn't look like we have really any other options.
No, there might be an opening here.
That's true.
No, the road ends here.
Oh. Oh, it does. Okay.
Alright.
In fact, if you guys want, I can go ahead and expedite us to the last map.
Yeah.
Because you guys are in that zone. I'd like you guys to give me both. One of you give me a stealth. One of you give me a perception.
Stealth.
Perception.
13.
Okay, good to know.
14 perception.
Okay. You guys manage to steadily creep forward, and as you reach the staircase, I can just go ahead. You know what? I can just go ahead and open up the map to you.
You need to get better at simple math.
Shut up.
Because Brighton knows what he's gonna see.
Yeah.
This is old yarn. This is an old yarn and map.
Yeah,
As it descends, ignore that temple though. That temple's not actually there.
Oh, thank God.
Eventually go out into a flat plain, and eventually another road continues. Let me actually grab your tokens.
No blood-starved beast for us. No, thank you.
And put y'all on the other map. Would say you guys start here. This map does not have dynamic lighting, but it does have some cool animation.
Wait, if we sit next to the bonfire, is that where we'll respawn?
Wrong
No.
game.
Okay.
We sat next
And
to
then
a
as
bonfire,
you-
we'll take fire damage.
You come out to this open thoroughfare, and like a shining beacon of hope, you see the northern gate out into the city.
There
It
be
is
dogs
closed.
here. Oh, fuck.
It is closed. However, guarding its I forgot to add them to the fucking map because I'm a dingleberry.
Guys,
These guys.
fucking guns. And dogs, probably.
And behind them,
Ah.
big old Scourge Beast.
Hooray!
And they see your approach. 13 was not good enough, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And one of them goes, "Oh, look at there! One of the lost sheep come to play."
If Poppy's close behind me, I'm just gonna, like, hold a hand to her stomach, kind of like holding her back a little bit. What?
Do you know these guys too?
These aren't good guys.
The higher behind them, Strider, you in particular, just your training you have had, as a hunter, hunting animals, know what burning meat smells like. And the pyre behind you popping ever so slightly, then it eventually clicks. Bones are heated quickly enough to explode.
Oh?
I need to spell it out. It's a pile of bodies.
Well, yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna say it blows up behind them. That's what I thought you were about to say.
No. But the bones are making that sound as they're heated so quickly that the moisture inside them is being forced out.
Yeah, as soon as you said it was the smell of meat, I was like, oh, I guess we found the townspeople. So,
How do you
yeah.
proceed?
Well, they already know we're here.
They see you. They've interacted with you.
Yeah.
You want to respond, or if there's anything you want to do, now is the time.
Can't turn back. Responding's not going to mean much. Fight.
Why not? Poppy's gonna respond.
Okay.
We're not here for trouble.
Oh, that's the problem, miss. You Thristians very much are. Need you to roll initiative.
That is a very good accent, DJ. That is not fantastico. 12.
16.
Hang on. Today I learned I can flip tokens and roll 20. Zoop. Hang on. Let me add you guys to the initiative. Here you go. And let's roll for these guys. $11. Scourge Beast. 14. What music do I want to do for this? Let's do Pervert. There we go. It's a good one. Okay. Poppy, you lead the charge.
Yay! Gonna look at Strider and like, we fight?
You know what? It's a little too far away. I'll say you guys started.
Okay.
That's really far away.
I'm just gonna answer that to pull my bow out.
Right. We fight. So it's gonna be a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I'm actually going to use the dodge action.
Okay. To know.
And I end my turn.
Okay. It is the Scourge Beast's turn. It is going to make a running leap over this fire. I'll actually make it make an athletics check, just because that's fair. I would ask the same of you guys. Boop. Yeah, it's fine. Jumps over. Lands here. And its momentum actually carries it forward a little bit. So it actually stops about here as it kind of skids. And it's going to make a claw attack at you, Poppy.
So I'll have disadvantage.
Okay. No. 4 and a 7.
No!
So the 7 plus 5 is 12.
Nope.
Second, and then it's going to make a bite attack against you.
I think the disadvantage lasts until my next turn.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Okay.
But its first roll is a 2. It misses. The end of its turn. Oh, you know what? Strider, it's your turn.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm just going to stop here. I'm going to Hunter's Mark the Scourge Beast.
Okay.
And we're going to roll some damage. Or we're going to roll an attack first with advantage. Does a 15 hit?
15 hits.
Yes.
It's a big boy. Not hard to hit.
Hooray.
Good to know.
So it is going to take, that's 11 plus 2, 13 plus 3, that's 16 total damage.
Ooh. Good hit, boy.
It's an extra d6 right there.
Did not mean to move him. Okay. Anything else you wanted to do?
That is all I'm doing.
Okay. The end of your turn. Hear a blistering, like a blisteringly loud voice. Hang on, I forgot to. This is me scratching my own back, so please apologize. I apologize in advance, but do it. Because narratively, it makes me happy.
Think I know who's here.
Oh my god. Board. As charging from up over the roof, actually, and he lands over here.
Hey.
A blistering voice. In the name of Warhide, you damned beasts, I'm sending you back to the abyss. That's a giant bronze dragonborn. Enters the fray.
It's Tarkoon.
Coon.
He's from the
Tarkoon.
future.
That's what I said.
I know, but you gotta say it right. Tarkoon.
Yeah, but he's my friend.
Shut the fuck up, you weeb.
No, it's funny. I've been playing Tark for a year and a half. He's actually the first person to ever make the joke.
Really?
Oh my god.
Yes, I'm shocked. I've been shocked up to this point. No one's made it.
I'm officially the most weeb of all the weebs here.
He's gonna hop down. Obviously can't get there. Your boy, an aberrant paladin. He does get the Sacred Flame cantrip.
Good for him.
So, Scourge Beast over there needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Kid unfortunately makes with a natural 20.
Yeah.
You do see this like holy light appear underneath the Scourge Beast's feet. It kind of hops back quickly as his approach was not subtle. It is now the clergy's turn. Yeah. We're gonna surround you, Poppy.
That's fine.
Still dodging.
Still dodging.
Now, does the dodge action only do disadvantage on attacks, or what about saving throws?
I have dexterity saving throws with advantage.
Okay, good to know.
I lose this benefit if I am incapacitated or if my speed drops to 0.
Okay, so again, this game isn't. I'm playing this as if it were Bloodborne, so they are intelligent creatures. So this guy is going to make a shove attack against you to try and knock you prone. Strength saving throw from you.
Ah! That's a 17.
Hey.
Makes it.
Woohoo!
Very nice.
Actually, it's a contest, isn't it? So let me roll for him. So the other one is still gonna do. The other one's gonna follow suit. He's gonna try and knock you to the floor. I need you to make another strength saving throw.
11.
That one does catch you, unfortunately.
So
You are
the,
knocked off your feet.
so the first one I used my quarterstaff to help catch, and then the second one like pushed me from a different side. So I was like, shit.
Well, see, so they both also have their own staves. I imagine as you go to swing at the other one kind of catches you on the feet and you lose your balance.
Yeah.
You are prone. But it is your turn. You can use half your movement to stand.
Yeah, I will use half my movement to stand.
Now, you're at full health. Technically, he did hit you, but you're at full health, so a rallying strike wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
But he did technically hit you.
'Twas a push, my lord.
Now, remember, guys, you can make parrying attacks. Neither of you have tried yet.
It says it has to be a projectile.
No, or an attack. Oh, right, I did say projectile. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. I'm a foolish boy.
Projectile or
Forgetting my
thrown
own
weapon.
rules.
It's okay.
I'm forgetting my own rules.
Don't worry, guys. Okay.
So I'm going to use my quarterstaff to hit the dog.
The dog.
For it.
That is a 21 to hit.
That absolutely hits.
And that is 7 bludgeoning damage. No, I'm sorry. I rolled the wrong thing. I rolled a d4 instead of a d6. Let me try that again.
You punch him with your staff.
That is still 7 bludgeoning damage.
Good to know.
Um,
As you hit it, like, there's not a lot of meat on those bones. It's like flesh and skin and bones. And then as you hit it, it makes a kind of an odd, wet slap.
love that.
Slappy dog.
And then bonus action, I'm gonna unarmed strike the guy that shoved me down.
Okay, go for it.
Right in his fucking nose.
That is a 22 to hit.
Nice.
That hits.
Oh, baby.
And that's 4 damage, bludgeoning damage to him.
Where do you hit him?
In the face!
In the fucking nose.
A fucking bitch!
I'm gonna free action, just kind of like come at me, bro. And I end my turn.
Actually, what you want to do is you want to do the dust off animation from Bloodborne.
Yeah, I'll
Oh
do
wait, you're
that.
not wearing a cloak. Never mind.
No.
Is the dog will reposition itself? It does get packed tactics.
No!
It's gonna take its strikes with advantage.
That's not great.
Uh, 15 to hit.
No.
Bite misses. Which is lucky. That's the damage dealer. Its claw is... Oh, an 18.
Yes.
That's a D8. Where's my D8? There's my D8. Okay.
Easy.
That's 6 slashing damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ouch. It's an 8.
Okay. Oh, it's... as it strikes into you, there's this odd burning sensation. As your wound bleeds more than it should be. It opens up and it's like a fountain opens up. Your next turn, you will take a D4 of bleeding damage. As it essentially caught an artery.
Hmm.
Oh, don't that beat all?
You said a D4?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go ahead and roll that now, just so I have it in my head?
If you like.
Okay.
You don't take the damage yet.
There'll be 3 on my turn.
So-
I'm just gonna make a note of that.
Okay.
Strider, it's your turn.
Alright, still attack as a dog here. 19.
Right, and Strider, I should let you know, you can make parrying attacks outside of your turn, even if it's not targeting you.
Oh, really? Ooh. Okay, good. Yeah, that is good to know.
Keep that in mind.
Alright.
We're co-op in this bitch.
Hell yeah. Okay, so he is not going to take a ton of damage. He's going to take 6, 7. He's going to take a total of 9.
Hit. He's starting to show some wear and tear. Like, he's not moving great. Like, he's moving very stiffly. This was the Scrooge beast, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's not a lot like I said, there's not a lot. It's a hardy creature. It's big and it's fast.
Yeah. It's the speed that kills you.
That's
Alright.
your turn.
That is my turn. Get him, Tarkoon!
Is the Dragonborn's turn. He still can't make it up there. How far away are you, Tark? You are a whopping 45 feet away.
I could clear that in one jump.
Yeah. Okay. So what he'll do... Tark's not an idiot either. Jump down, and he'll move his movement to about... here. Yeah. He can use his lightning breath.
Yeah.
They both need to make dexterity saving throws, which the Scourge Beast has advantage on. Takes it with a natural 20.
Of course. That's twice.
Then the clergy. Fails with an 8. So we'll take full damage. That's 2d6 lightning damage. Oh man, he rolled a 1 and a 3. So the Scourge Beast takes 2. The Clergy takes 4 lightning damage. Not great. But the Clergy is still unhappy. He's like, God fucking damn it!
This poor guy.
He's gonna... So now he is... pissed. He's gonna raise his lantern at you, Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
Unleash a burning hands. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
14.
14 makes it, so it'll be half damage.
Oh, I don't have evasion yet.
That's cocked. Oof. So that's halved. That's... Ow, odd numbers suck. 9 halved. That's 4 fire damage.
Okay.
And then the other one is going to make attack at you with his staff. If he tries to Burning Hands, he will hit allies, so he's not going to do that. That is... Oh, that's a 2 to hit, so that will miss.
Okay.
Plus 2 plus 4 is 6. It's not high enough. Alrighty. Turn, Poppy. You have 2 targets to make a rallying strike against. The Scourge Beast and the Clergyman to your left.
I'm gonna make the rally on the Clergyman.
For it.
Quarterstaff. That's a 12 to hit.
Barely hits.
Yes.
Man.
The hit dice minus 2 of healing.
Hit dice is a D8. So he is going to take 7 bludgeoning damage, and then I'm gonna get 5 hit points.
You guys are rolling good on this hit dice.
Yeah, I rolled a 7. Sorry, I'm moving just to check my HP.
That does burn your reactions, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yep, bonus action, flurry of blows both of them on the Scourge. That is my final key point. Use that. So 2 unarmed strikes. The first one's a natural 19.
That definitely hits.
And that is 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And the second one is an 18.
Okay. That hits.
With 4 more bludgeoning damage.
You want to do this?
Yes. So after I whack the Clergyman with the quarterstaff, I just use that momentum to turn around and just pop, right in the snout.
Okay. As you do, you actually, the brittleness of the bones, you hit it in just the right way that its snout actually pushed forward just a little bit, and the bones, its nose and cartilage gets pushed into its brain. It just kind of collapses onto the ground.
And don't forget to use your bonus action with the Hunter's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you thinking about it?
I'm done. I was gonna get the fuck out of Dodge, but that rally helped a lot.
Alright.
Strider, it's your turn.
Bonus action, remarking to the guy on Poppy's left.
Yep.
And...
Sorry, I'm very familiar with Hunter's Mark.
Oof. 9 plus 5, 14. 14!
Hits.
That's how math works.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So that is going to be 12, 14 total damage.
Oh my god.
Nice.
How do you want to do this?
Nice.
As the dog crumbles, just kind of peek around the corner that I'm at and just let loose an arrow. Was that the guy you punched in the face?
Yes.
Alright, then I double tap his head. Another one right to his fucking face.
He just lapses. Poppy, you do get hit with that blood spray, though, because that arrow is peeking out of his eye socket. And so that fluid, that momentum carries the fluid with it, and just kind of splashes against your face.
Ugh.
That's why I gave you the alcohol.
Watch where you're aiming.
Alrighty. Is there anything else you wanted to do, Strider?
That is it.
Alright. It kind of deflates. It's like, oh, well, I didn't need to be here at all. You alright? And he's talking to you, Poppy.
Been better.
Oh, fuck me. Will barely get up there. Like, great axe attack against this boy. Now panicking because he was not expecting this much resistance from two little elves.
Frail motherfuckers.
Yeah, that hits. That's 18 plus a million. That is D8 of damage. 7 plus 3 is 10. I want to steal the kill from you guys.
Go for it, man. It's fine.
He's got to do something.
He's gonna pump a divine smite into it.
Knock him back into the fire pit.
He'll do another D8 of damage. It's a total of 13 damage. He's already not looking happy. Who are you people?
Poppy, I believe that's your line. We're the AT.
I told you we didn't want trouble.
So let's look at this guy's toolkit and see if there's anything he can do.
He can die.
Yeah, he'll just do what his friend did. He's gonna do another Burning Hands, so I need both you and Tark to make a dexterity saving throw.
I can't parry that, can I?
No.
24.
Yeah, Tark rolled a natural 20. This guy's fucked.
So I rolled a 19, so we were both just like, "Argh!"
And he rolled double sixes too, so 12 reduced to 6 fire damage. Alrighty, Poppy.
Punch him in the schnoz.
This man has, as your turn comes about, Tark is removing his axe from the guy's torso.
I'm gonna rally on this one also.
Go for it.
Just kidding, it's a 9 to hit.
That does miss, I'm sorry.
Bonus action, unarmed strike.
They're easy to hit, but not that easy.
That's a 19.
Definitely hits.
With max damage of 7.
How do you want to do this?
Exactly where he took the axe out. I just pretty much metaphorically rub salt in the wound.
Okay. But as you do, you see an opening, where the axe penetrated so deep that you can see bone. You kind of see where it cracked, and so you take your staff, you actually jab it forward and pierce his heart. It goes kind of, as the blood spurts out, falls backwards off your staff, starts to take you with it. So, what do you want to do about that?
Well, I was hitting him with my fist.
With your fist?
That was an unarmed strike.
Okay.
He's
falling
taking
backwards, I guess.
Your fist is in there.
Kameha!
It's Kalima, but yeah.
Whatever, Kalima.
We can go ahead and drop out of initiative.
Yay.
Whew.
Da 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 da.
Alright. Tark.
But you don't know this man.
Oh, do I not?
You do not at this point in time.
Okay.
This is a paladin of Warhite.
Is he from the future?
Oh my god, he's from the future.
Tuck isn't from the future. He was around 20 years ago. He's a good boy. But he looks at you both and he goes, "Oh, it's been a while since I saw the survivors. Are you all right?"
We are, thanks to your help. Who are you?
I am. He looks winded, like he's been running for a while.
My dude just cleared a building. All right, I'll allow him that.
And he kind of doubles over a bit. He goes, Lieutenant Tarkun of the Temple of Warhide, over yonder. I've been assisting survivors. I can. Well, fuck me. He's going to cast Lesser Restoration on himself to get rid of some of his exhaustion. And I've been burning through magic like a motherfucker today.
Are you injured?
Very, but I can walk it off. And he sees that you're also not looking really hot, Poppy, and he's gonna give you a lay on hands, 15 HP.
How much?
15. So you're at full.
Nice. I'm gonna signal to Strider to give me the healing potion, and then offer it to Tark.
Okay.
Okay. Well, but cheers! And he swigs it back. We'll calculate when he gets healed just for fun. Oh, well. It's 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 5.
Cheers.
Whopping 5 health. Ah, you guys are lucky. Patrol just left. Been here 15 minutes ago. Swarming with the gods.
Fortunately, we had a bit of a setback.
For you.
Fortunately.
You should get out of here. It's going to be dangerous from... We'll give it another 2 minutes. Be back. Oh, it's fucking back.
That was
This
our
is more than every
intention.
day.
Is there
He looked tired.
Is there somewhere to go?
There's the gate.
In the city? No, I haven't left the city since this started, so I don't know what's going on up there. I've sent word for help. No one's come back, though. It's been... Starts counting on his fingers. It's been more than a week now.
It's been 10 days.
Fuck. Anyway, you guys should get out of here. Things are just gonna get more than they are now. I've got work to do. You guys make it from here?
Yes, we definitely getting out of the city. We might try our luck elsewhere. Perhaps even head back to the wilds. I don't know.
All
We'll see how the path fares for us.
Good luck to you. Starts back and deeper into the heart of the city, leaving you two alone. How do you proceed? A gate.
Yes.
Gates are closed, but they are here. This is the exit, the northern exit to the city.
Is there some kind of mechanism we can operate to open said gates?
Looks like, similarly to the chapel gate, has been completely disassembled.
All right, I'm gonna. What kind of material is the gate made out of?
Since this is the main gate, because there are 4 main gates on each of the cardinal directions throughout Legende, because Legende is a ringed city. So it's made of heavy stone. It's on hinges. Those hinges themselves are enchanted to actually bear the weight. of the door itself,
Huh.
where it would normally be made of wood. These doors are not meant to be breached.
Yeah, well, there goes my burn it down plan.
You do know, and you guys, and this was part of the flavor of the previous campaign, but I'll let you guys know just because it's a cool little fun fact. The walls, the tall walls that circle around Legende are it's called the Bramble Crowns. It's obsidian, sort of strange obsidian metal that sticks up at all odd angles, kind of like a barbed fence from hell. And any wounds caused by those barbs are cursed to never stop bleeding.
Lovely. So there goes my going over it plan.
Never mind.
Legende was designed to be a capital city. It appears that this attack came from within, so there was no way to defend against it.
Maybe if we pushed on it really hard.
You can try to do that if you want. I'm going to look for a way to open it.
Okay, I can help with that.
Okay. So...
There are guard towers on either side. You can climb up those to see if you can get a better vantage point if you like.
Yes.
Look, I know the world is shitty, but there's still some time for humor.
Okay, so we're not going to use the map anymore. We can just kind of
Alright.
use theater of the mind at this point. The encounter's over.
Okay, well, we went separate directions there, but I still feel like we should stick together, more or less.
Oh.
But either way.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Alright, fine. Well,
So you guys going up both towers?
yeah.
Okay, then we'll start with Strider. Make a perception check for me as you ascend the staircase.
16. That's the highest
So
I've rolled perception all night.
The walls of the Legende themselves are about 40 feet tall. They get up there. So you climb a good 4 stories. So you wrap around. So it'd be a half stair each time. So eight different spirals. And so once you get to the top, there's that a ladder and a hatch that goes out the top where the guard post is. But there are windows as you spiral up. You just have to tell me where you want your vantage point to be. Did that make sense at all?
Kind of?
So, like, where are you, like, so you have the ability to look at the city from 4 different directions.
Oh, okay. Well, I would assume any kind of mechanism to open this gate would be close.
So it was similar to the bars that the chapel had.
Oh, that's right.
They would be pulled inward, but that has been disabled. Like, it looks like it was mechanically and methodically removed from the gate. So they are lying on the ground outside.
Lovely. Okay. Well, I guess then I would be looking towards the line of the gate along the wall, trying to find some place that we can maybe get out through. Like, there's a hole in the wall somehow, or maybe, there's a break in the obsidian somewhere that we could get out.
Fun. Make a perception check.
Oh, that's a 9.
Oh, Poppy, not you. I need Poppy to make a perception.
Oh.
Thank God.
20.
Okay. So, as Strider starts to go up this tower, and you're walking towards yours, look, and like, oh, the gate's ajar. Neither of you actually walked up to the gate.
No, we sure as fuck didn't.
Okay. Tell me more about this humor thing.
Believe it or not, the gate is no longer a gate.
Say it.
It's turned into a jar.
Okay. We're leaving.
Okay. Oh. Fear of depravity lasts for a year. What do you two do during that year?
Well,
You exit the city to a war-torn landscape, expect to see some sort of relief. On the contrary, you see war camps, see battlefields. As you travel, you see that the situation in Legende is the same everywhere else.
Well, we probably should find somewhere just to settle for the time being.
We're in epilogue mode.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys tell me what you did for that year. How would Poppy and Strider have reacted to these events?
So
the way it happens is
we're actually only gonna see each other for 2 more weeks.
yeah.
Okay.
And then so I think we had said like a refugee camp. So if there's anything akin to that where people have just kind of hobbled together.
A few hours walk from here. In the outlying towns like Falconhold and a little further on, the more open fields that are accepting refugees.
So we'll just kind of take up refuge there for now, just kind of like, help out, enjoy each other's company, things and such. And then after about 2 weeks, my conscience will start to get the better of me, and I know I have to return home.
Okay.
And so, on my bed, she'll wake up to find just a bottle of alcohol, the same one I gave her, or the same kind of alcohol that I gave her on the day of, sitting there with a note tied to it that says don't come for me, or don't try to find me, something like that.
What do you do, Poppy?
Don't look for me, that's what it says.
Poppy's gonna ask around, see if anyone,
Okay.
has anyone seen this elf boy?
As you do, you go to find that you guys have only been here a couple of weeks. Even then, it's becoming more and more chaotic as more and more people pour in and resources get thinner. Because the sun, and you can notice it now as the weeks progress, the sun's not just getting darker, the sky looks like it's bleeding, like perverse aurora borealis. It's just the streaks of black, purple, and red across the sky, and the sun itself looks like it's being devoured. So that despair starts to take you, and so you find that people aren't really concerned with the people around them right now. So unfortunately, no one even remembers Strider.
Okay. So resources running thin, Poppy wouldn't want to continue to be a burden on those that need the help more than she does, because she sees the sick and the injured and the young and the old coming in. So she would, if there was any point where things started to calm down a little bit, maybe.
Sure.
That would be when she leaves and starts making her way towards Zarek.
Right. And so, back forward to present day. Almost 20 years to the day. It's a little over. Guys in cottage in the middle of nowhere, eaten and destroyed. 2 friends settled around. Unbeknownst to both of you, you both are recalling this memory in really different ways. There's that sort of resonance. Poppy, you're uncertain because you were suddenly, once again, just as abruptly crashing into each other's lives as you did the first time. And you wonder, is it going to be just as hard as it was last time? That's where we'll call it tonight.
Whew. Good shit,
What's
DJ. Good fucking shit.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I hope you guys enjoyed that.
I got
I hope
goosebumps.